What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we're talking about another one of those Autobiography line fragrances from Paris Corner. These were sent my way by the good folks at Aroma Concepts. Obviously, that has nothing to do with what I'm going to think about the fragrance. Just want to let you guys know that they have been generous to the channel with sending things for me to check out from Paris Corner. And so far, so good with this line, I have to say. Today, we're taking a look at Citron Vanille and the Autobiography line. So let's dive into it. Stay tuned. So the most notable thing to this, it's supposedly in the realm of a L'Arome Sport Edition Blanche. It's been a long time since I've smelled that fragrance, so I can't do a side-by-side, so I just got to judge it as an individual. It's a very zingy citrus. The pink pepper here, I believe, is the peppered spice. Yeah, pink pepper. So this in particular is zingy. Zingy is the word I keep coming up with. Not just zesty, but zingy. It's got this zing to it. With the bergamot and the lemon, it smells great. I wore it to the gym. I wore it during the day. Recently, I've worn it out the shower. I quite enjoy this. Just as much as Salty Breeze, which is kind of like Joe Malone Wood Sage and Sea Salt. Similar thing here. The quality here is decent. It does smell really good. The vanilla is not too powdery. That zesty, zingy citrus mixing with the vanilla in the woods here is just well blended. It's super easy to like. This is an easy to enjoy type of fragrance. Sweet without being too sweet, citrus without being too citrus, spice without too much spice. Like I said, pretty well balanced from one accord and nuance to the next. This smells fantastic. So far, this is going to be the one to beat. I'm 2 of the 4 fragrances in this line in, and so far, this is the best smelling one. As far as performance, kind of in line with what I got so far across this line. 4 to 5 hours, more like 4 hours pretty much. As I've clocked it. Spraying clothes, I don't know. I typically don't spray my clothes. I'm a skin sprayer kind of guy, so the fragrance can develop and react with my skin chemistry as intended when created. So, you know, below average in longevity. Nothing I would call super weak, but, you know, most people would want 8, 10, 12 hours bro type of stuff, so I get it. But this has a function. This has a use. You just plan your day accordingly because these are all pieces to a wardrobe. There's tons of use in my life for a 4 to 5 hour longevity, great smelling fragrance. So I have no issue with that. Projection's about a solid hour. On the stronger side, I would actually call it in the moderate to heavy type of realm for a solid hour. And then it calms down pretty much into a moderate to mild scent where I'll get light whiffs therefore after the fact. So it goes from really strong to kind of average to slightly below average sillage. Nothing crazy, but nothing faint skin scent type of weak. It takes, you know, a few hours to get to where it's a skin scent. But across the board, I would kind of call it average in performance because the projection early gives it a bump where it's lackluster in longevity and a, you know, kind of average in sillage. It kind of shakes out to an average performing fragrance across the board. Final thoughts on Citron Vanille Autobiography line from Paris Corner. This is good stuff right here. If it performed a little better, it would be in that great territory. The scent really gives this one a boost. The strength early on really gives this one a boost in its overall score for a 7.5 out of 10. Another very good fragrance in this line. Again, if this was 6 to 8 hours in longevity, this would probably be an 8.5. I'd have to recalculate the score, but probably an 8.25 to an 8.5. Great fragrance. So take that with a grain of salt. Performance is subjective from one person to another. I do get on the below average side, but nothing I would call weak. I consider weak in that 1 to 2 hour range, even 3 hour range. Getting 4 to 5 hours, definitely on the weaker side of what most people would want, but I'm cool with that. I got tons of function for this. I got countless fragrances that last 4 to 5 hours on my skin that I wear on a regular basis. So I'm good with it. I spend a little more time on performance because it's so important to those. So when it's, below average, it's noteworthy and I have to really conduct and convey my thoughts accurately to you guys. Because you might get 10 hours out of this, you might get 1 hour. I don't know. That's you, your nose, and your skin with this fragrance. For me, 4 to 5 hours, really strong for an hour, kind of average the rest of the way to below average. So maybe it's for you, maybe it's not for you. For me, it's the best one I've tried so far. I quite like this fragrance. So thank you once again, Aroma Concepts, for sending this my way so I was able to spend some time with it. I have been enjoying testing and wearing this one. I have to say, this has been a pleasure to wear. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on Autobiography Citron Vanille and you give it a spray now, you might end up thanking me later. You never know. Have a good one, guys.